Remember, if you haven't already, write those down, my 3 rules: show up, speak up, and show out. So let's get to the first question. Okay. So the very first question that I have actually came from Lynette. Lynette says, "Hi, Coach Nikenya. Question for the Q&A tonight. How would you target market for people that care about their health?" So if you didn't hear that, just to make sure, she's asking, how would you target market for people that care about their health? So this is all about target marketing. And I actually got a few pieces of feedback from those of you who did respond to the weekly check-in that were asking some similar questions, or you had some similar breakthroughs about your target market. And so I want to make sure that I cover that especially. My goodness, the children have gotten pizza on me. Pizza sauce, gotta love it. So in terms of your target market, the best way for me to explain this is for you to think about who it is that you most want to serve, first of all. And make sure that you really clearly have that avatar in your head about who they are, what they do, where they live, where they work, where they play, all of those demographics, psychographics, etc., that you hear about if you were taking a marketing class. All of those things are important. You really just want to have a very clear picture of who it is that you most want to serve. And these are the people who are not only demonstrating that they have a need or a want for your products and services, but they also are both willing and able to pay your prices. Very important. So part of that avatar needs to also include their income, their ability to actually pay you, right? Too often we spend a whole lot of time with friends and family trying to market to them, and they are not necessarily within our target market, and they're just as broke as you're trying not to be. So not the best method to approach in building your business. So once you have that clear picture of who your target market is and how you best serve them, then you have to ask yourself, okay, what is the actual problem that I solve for them? Get that problem in your mind and think about what are the current ways that your target market is already trying to solve that problem. Where do they go? What are they doing? How are they attempting to fix it in their lives? And once you have that in mind, then ask yourself, am I in those places? Am I doing those things? Am I showing up where they are? You need to go where they go, be where they be. That is the quickest and easiest way for me to explain it. But specifically for you, Lynette, asking about how do you find people who are, let me get back to it, make sure that I quote you correctly. You are asking, how do you target market for people that care about their health? Okay, so people who care about their health, that's the target market, right? So what do they look like and where are they going? So if I'm a person who cares about my health, then I'm probably going to be going to the doctor's office regularly or a clinic. So that's a good place to try to connect and have what's called a joint venture. That means you can partner with a doctor's office, a clinic, etc., and maybe even do an event at the clinic to offer your products and services as long as there is a benefit in it for the clinic or the doctor that you are partnering with. So create a joint venture with the clinic. Where else might these people who are interested in health go? The gym. Absolutely, they would be at the gym. So you could even do a joint venture with a gym or join the gym yourself, get a membership, and just mingle, have conversations with people. 99% of selling anything has to do with you getting in front of the right people who get to know, like, and trust you, because we don't buy products and services. We buy people and experiences. And so in order for you to connect with those people, you have to be where they be. So again, if you're at a gym with other people who are concerned about their health and you just have regular conversations with them, they get to know, like, and trust you, it can be very easy for you to identify what their needs are and then for you to communicate the value that you can bring to them by offering them an alternative solution to the problems that they want to fix. So if they're concerned about the health, they might be at a gym. Where else might they be? They may join a Weight Watchers program or anything like that. You're going to find them, of course, in health food stores, etc. So I would brainstorm all the different places that you can find people who are concerned about their health, and then see if you can create a partnership, a joint venture of some sort with the organization, the company, or the people who run those places, or see if there's a way that you can insert yourself somehow where you can build those authentic relationships one-on-one with each of those individuals yourself. So that is how you would target market to someone who is interested in their health. So make sure that you are showing up in the places that they are. That is the most important. And then when you get there, when you're in front of them, offer them those solutions and the value that they need. So that was question number 1. Now let's move on to question number 2, which comes from Wendy. And I'm going to read it. And hi, Wendy, you are literally like the star player since we first started Jumpstart. There are a handful of people who have been actively involved in this program thus far. And then there's some that haven't even opened their first login email. And me and my team, we can see all of that. We can see what type of activity you have. We can see when you log into the Facebook group. We can see what posts that you actually have looked at. We can see when you're logging into the training group and whether or not you're participating in the modules and how far you got. So we absolutely can see all of that. And so we know if you're participating. We know if you're actually opening your emails and clicking on any of the suggested resources that are included in the emails. So you can't hide. But Wendy has been a star because she has done almost everything that we have asked of her thus far. So thank you, Wendy, for showing up and speaking up and showing out as the star player thus far. You have absolutely met all 3 of my top rules, the 3 things that would help you to win in both business and in life. So you're in a good place. So let's get to your first question because you actually submitted 2. And that first one that you posted is, hi, Coach Nikenya. I have a question. I would like to improve my exposure to my target market. So I want to effectively advertise on social media, but I struggle with content. I'm posting regularly on social media and I do use hashtags, but I'm unsure if they are effective or not on my content needs or my content needs more work. I know I will have to run ads to get in front of more people, but I want it to be effective. Are there templates or resources I can use? Okay, so you asked a few things within that one question, but I can easily address them all for you, so no worries. So basically, the overall question is, how do I create effective content? So I'm sure you've heard by now, content is king. And this is so true. As a business owner, your content, its purpose is to educate your potential customers so that they can see your value and understand why you are the best solution for the problems that they have. And so it's really important that your solution is somehow communicated through the content that you are educating them on and that they can see the value of that being demonstrated. So what every person that would fit within your target market, what they have is a problem that they don't want, and they're looking for an outcome that they don't have. So let me say that again. They have a problem that they don't want, and they want an outcome that they don't have. So your job is to show them how the problem that they have can be fixed by your solution. And that's all that your content is doing. So there's a few things that you can do. First of all, your content should actually highlight the problem. So it needs to really be calling out what the actual problem is. And so you're going to speak about the problem, because how do they know that you're the perfect person to help them unless you call out the problem that's been bugging them? So if their issue is that, I know you're in natural hair care product lines, and so their issue may be that they don't have enough moisture, or that they're looking to strengthen their hair, or to thicken it, or to grow it longer because they may have just had a big chop. For those of you who don't know what that means, means that they just cut all the chemical process out of their hair, and now their hair is very, very short. And so that's a big chop. Or maybe they're transitioning from chemical process to natural, and they haven't cut any of their hair, and they are looking for a way to deal with all the different textures that may be going on in their head while they're in that transition. And so those are the problems you're going to look to speak about. So you're literally going to call out that specific problem, not all of them at once, just whatever the one product is that's going to fix that problem. You're going to talk about that one problem and also incorporate what are the current solutions that they are already using to solve that problem. So you may say something like, I know you've probably already tried this, that, and the other thing, and this is why that didn't work. And now this product that I have works because it does this, this, and this. And so you want to make sure that you are always speaking to that problem that they don't want. They have that problem that they don't want, and let them know that through your products, through your services, they can have the outcome that they do want. So you absolutely can do this. It's very easy to create the content when you frame it from that viewpoint, that all you're doing is looking to educate them on why your particular products and services will meet their needs better than anything else on the marketplace. And if you can do that effectively, because you are speaking exactly to the problem that they have in the language that they understand, you have already won the game. What we usually do is we talk about instead the product itself. That's not how you use content to market your product. If you're talking about the product, who cares? Because again, we do not buy products and services, we buy people and experiences. And so you need to create an experience for your customers by demonstrating the knowledge, the value that you have. And you do that through your content, through how you're communicating with them, how you are answering the questions that they have, the big problems that they have, and connect them to the value that your products actually will deliver to solve that problem. Okay, so don't talk about the product itself, except in the terms of how it best meets the needs once you all have already educated about why what they're already doing is not working. And that is how you develop your content. So you also asked about templates. You've been running ads and you want to do more ads, but you're not sure about templates, and you've also been using hashtags. Okay, so when it comes to templates, there are 1,000,001 Facebook templates out there for ads, Facebook ad templates. Oh my gosh, there's so many out there, and I have quite a few myself. However, I want to caution you against getting hung up on using templates, because Facebook changes literally day by day. So what works today may not work tomorrow because their algorithms change, their rules change, their policies. Even today, before I could log into my live session using my BeLive program app, I noticed that Facebook changed some things, so I had to do some extra steps before I could broadcast, which was why I didn't log in until about 6:05 instead of exactly at 6 o'clock, because I had to go through those extra steps I wasn't aware that I needed to, because normally that's not an issue. So Facebook is constantly changing things, and so you want to make sure that you're not getting tied or relying on something that may go away, okay, that may change at any moment. So it's better that you learn how to actually write your content in a way that is going to speak to your target market, that's going to educate them on how your products meet their needs, that's going to educate them on the problem that they have and why they have that problem, and why the solutions that are currently out there that they're currently using are not the best answer. So that is what you need to do. Then when it comes to the actual ads themselves, if you're going to use them, the first thing you have to know is your audience. The best thing about this Facebook ads is that they're highly targeted, but you have to know how to use them. And so it's all about audiences. And what an audience is just another name for target market. And so you need to get very clear about who it is that you want to listen to your ad or to see your ad, because that is the person who is most likely willing and able to purchase your products and services. And so Facebook doesn't allow you to target by race, but they do allow you to target by age, gender, location, interest. And that's a great way to get around the race issue. So if you do have something that is specifically for Black women per se, then you could use something that most Black women would be interested in, or most of the Black women who you particularly would serve would be interested in, and use that as one of the levels of developing your audience and defining who you would like the ad to be targeted to. So audience is the first thing that you have to get past. So it's really important that you get clear about who it is you most want to serve. What do they look like? What do they do? And where do they show up? And what are they interested in? And then, of course, that income question is very important, because can they actually pay your prices? So include all of that information into your audience development. Once you get past audience, the second biggest thing to know about Facebook ads is that it either has to have a really good image or a great video. The ads themselves do not like text, so it cannot be a whole bunch of verbiage. The bulk of your ad has to be an image, a really high quality, beautiful image that is eye-catching. And so either get a good camera to take an action picture of something, and it could be, again, since you are doing hair care products, maybe it's someone brushing their beautiful locks or shampooing their hair and the water droplets are coming off, and you capture a picture of that. Of them actually using the product. And maybe then there's just a small image of the product, but make the experience, the people who are experiencing the experience, the focal point of the image. Same thing with video. Video is better, a whole lot better. If you're going to do a Facebook ad and you can do video, way better. But again, same thing, you want to make sure that the images that you use are highly captivating, eye-catching, and will keep the audience's attention, and you have to do it in a very short amount of time. There are some people who do super long ads. I do not advise you to do that in a video for Facebook. You should be able to accomplish anything that you want within 30 to 60 seconds. And I would highly recommend that you would keep it within that length, because then you can repost it to Instagram. Because if you didn't know already, Facebook owns Instagram. So it's very easy to create a Facebook ad and then repost that ad to Instagram. But if it's longer than 60 seconds, Instagram will not allow it to be featured within their platform. And if you can do it in 15 seconds, then Instagram can also post it as a story to your feed instead of just on your general feed. So 15 to 60-second video, way better than images. Whether it's images or video, keep the text really, really light. You can expound more through your Learn More link, or through your link directly to your website, or whatever your call to action is. And by the way, your call to action, really important. So don't forget about what is it that you actually want the ad to achieve. And that's what will help it to be most effective. Think about, what do you want the ad to achieve? What beautiful image or video could help to promote that, and then make that call to action really plain. And then you can do a short verbiage within the actual ad itself, usually through a caption on the video or a caption on the image. But within the image, within the video, keep the text light. So that's with Facebook ads. Two more things. If you are uncomfortable with doing it yourself, you can absolutely turn to Fiverr. Fiverr, Fiverr.com. Fiverr is a great place to connect with people who are freelancers, who are willing to create the Facebook ads for you, and you can pay them as little as $5, which is why it's called Fiverr. And I use Fiverr a lot for all different types of things. I've used it for book covers, etc. So definitely you can turn to Fiverr. Or if you are able to do it yourself and you're comfortable doing that, Canva, if you don't have another type of graphic software, you can use Canva. It's a free website or free app, canva.com, and you can play around with that and create beautiful images. And they do have some Facebook templates available on there as well. And so you can just kind of browse through those and see if there's anyone that calls to you and see if you can manipulate it to do what you would like it to do. So I think that's it. Nope, one more point about this question, because I do want to make sure that you have exactly what you need. I would ask, where are you posting this content? Is it just on your personal Facebook wall? Do you have a business page? Do you have a group? Are you posting it in other groups that are related to your target market? Where are you actually posting your content? Do you have a dedicated blog, a website? Is it Twitter? Where are you posting it, and where are you actually using your hashtags? Your hashtags, of course, they should be words that a person would Google if they were looking for someone who actually sold the types of things that you have. So if it's hair care products, natural hair care, those are the types of hashtags that you would use. And of course, you could have one or two customized hashtags that are personal to your brand, but most of your hashtags should be the generic words, the keywords that someone would use to Google you and Google your products, okay? So use the right hashtags in terms of what would someone actually be Googling. And then make sure you're posting it in the right places. Now, if the bulk of your Facebook friends are not your target market, then posting regularly on your Facebook wall is not going to help you a whole lot until you expand your circle. And so you would have to do the same thing that I said to Lynette in terms of finding your target market, expand your reach. So whether that's purposely going into different groups, Facebook groups that are about hair care and connecting with people who are on their hair care journey, or going into different networking events or natural hair care events. I know that there's several of those around the Chicagoland area where I am. So connect with those types of groups, or go to hair expos, Black women's expos. I know we have those here in Chicagoland. So see what you can do in terms of connecting with more people. So I saw that you said you have a business page on Facebook and Instagram and Facebook business group. But again, I would have to ask, who are the people who are actually liking those pages or connected to those pages? Are they even seeing your stuff? And if it's not enough people that are seeing your stuff, then it actually means that you're not doing enough. So you have to do more. You have to do more outreach. And this is one thing that most business owners fail to do on a regular basis, is connect with your target market. You have to go where they go, be where they be, always. Show up, speak up, and show out. Wherever they are, you have to show up, period. And so there's no getting around that, and you have to do that daily, consistently, regular basis. And again, video is king. So if your content is not video heavy or image heavy, especially since you're dealing with more products, you would absolutely want to start jumping on Facebook Lives and do some of your content as an education piece. It could even be a Q&A like what I'm doing right now. So it's really important that you educate your clients and you get that shared to the right people, so that you can meet more folks that are actually interested and willing and able to pay your prices. So make sure that you're doing that. Again, guys, I apologize. My grandkids are here and they're just running all around and they call me Yaya. So you may hear that a few times. So that was your first question. You had a second question. Let me pull that up. And that second question was along the same lines, because you were interested in learning how you could get unstuck. Your question is, right now my business is at a level that I cannot seem to move past. A lot of us feel that way. And although I'm making sales in my business, natural hair care products, is a product-based business, so I must reinvest all that I make back into my business to mostly buy supplies, and it leaves very little, if anything, left over for marketing, branding, or education. How can I get business credit or other means of financing with not so great personal credit, which I'm actively working to improve. That's very good. And do I have to use personal credit to secure business credit? Okay, so basically the question that you're asking is, how do I finance my business? Gotcha. So this is a huge question that I get a lot. Typically, I get small business owners, aspiring entrepreneurs. They're in their first year or two, maybe even 5 years of operation. And they come to me and they're like, Coach Nakenya, I'm not making enough sales. I don't know what's going on. I think I need a loan. I need business financing. I need credit, something. And I'm sorry to tell you, but business financing is not a great idea when you're in the beginning stages of your business, unless you are a tech company or a nonprofit organization. And even in those cases, the financing that is available is very competitive and few and far in between. So the best way to finance your business is actually through your sales. And you know, I would never lie to you. I want to make sure that you are armed with the actual knowledge that you need to propel your business forward. And so it may be hard to hear that it is through your sales that you need to make the money, okay, in order to finance your operations. So by you telling me that you have a very little profit left over after you reinvest into your business, that is telling me that you're not charging enough. You're not charging enough to cover your expenses in making the products. You're not charging enough to have something left over for marketing, and you're not charging enough to even pay yourself. And so it's time to reevaluate your profit, okay? So the way that you would increase profit, there's two ways. One, of course, is to raise your prices. The other way is to cut your costs. Now, a lot of times, because we're in the beginning stages of our operations, we are bootstrapping. And that means that everything is coming out of our pockets, and we're already cutting corners as much as we possibly can. But more than likely, there's some processes or things that you can either automate to make your job easier and less time constrained, which will free you up so that you can actually do more of the selling to your target market. So that's the first thing. Or it may even be that there's a different manufacturer or wholesaler, or wherever you get the products from, wherever they're sourced from, there may be other places that you can go that will charge you less, or you may just need to renegotiate the pricing that you already have with your current providers. And so I would reach out to them and ask them, can they even offer you credit terms, or even do like an equity financing type thing, where they actually are basing the loan off of the inventory that you currently have, in the hopes that once you actually sell that inventory, that they can then collect on their payment. And so that's sometimes called payables loaning, payables financing, accounts receivables financing, etc., or equipment financing, etc. And so looking into those types of things as well. A lot of times before you can access that type of credit, they are looking at your personal credit. So it is very important that you get your personal credit up to par so that you can, if you need to, take out a loan. But you don't want to get in trouble of taking out a loan and then not being able to pay back the loan either. Because again, that's going to hit your personal credit. Even if it's a business loan, it typically is going to be based on your personal credit. And so you want to make sure that you'll be able to pay it back. And again, that points back to being able to make the sales, and the sales actually generating a profit. Profit is the money that is left over after you have paid all the expenses and paid yourself. That is the money that you will use to grow, etc. And so if your current sales are not reflecting enough for you to even pay yourself, and it's barely allowing you to cover the expense of making the products, then you are not charging enough and your expenses might be too high. So you need to either cut the expenses or charge more, or both. But the actual financing of your business, I'm so sorry to tell you, not really a great idea, especially in the early stages, because again, you have to be able to pay it back. It is going to be based on your personal credit, and loans and grants, etc., aren't really available at that magnitude to small businesses, especially these days when so many banks are fearful of even providing you with any type of loan or financing, given the current state of the economic situation in the United States. Okay, so it's very difficult to get that. So the best way to finance your business is absolutely through the sales and marketing, effective marketing. If you're not getting enough sales, then you need to do more around your target market. If you're getting the sales but it's just not covering the bills, then you need to raise your prices and cut expenses. Okay, so I know that was like, whoa. But if you have more questions about that, of course, post them in the group. You are welcome to post in the group, and we'll try to answer as many questions as you can. You're also welcome to respond in the weekly check-ins, and there will be a full module all about pricing and how do you do more, how do you implement additional strategies to help you figure out your pricing. And so that just may be the thing that you need to do to fix that particular problem. Sorry, Wendy. I was hoping I could tell you something better, but it really is that you just have to increase your sales and make more money from each individual sale by cutting expenses and charging more. Okay, so that brings me to the final questions. Actually, since we were talking about financing for your business, in order for it to start creating a credit profile, you want to make sure you get what's called a D&B number. And that is what you will use even if you're trying to get equity financing from somewhere, or equipment financing, or supplies financing. They'll ask for your D&B number too, and they can report it to your D&B file, same as they would the 3 major credit bureaus for your personal credit. D&B is what actually monitors your business credit. So even though I'm saying don't get yourself caught up into the financing situation, do go ahead and start building up business credit by getting a D&B number. And you do that by going to dnb.com. That's D as in Dennis, N as in Nancy, B as in Bird. It stands for Duns and Bradstreet. That number is what would qualify your business credit. Okay. All right. So moving on to the last question. And this question came from Dana. And Dana is asking about pricing. So I tried to do these questions in order of what made sense based on what you guys asked. And because I knew that the response to Wendy's question had to do all about increasing your pricing some, it's perfect that Dana also asked about how do I price my products and services. And so when it comes to pricing your products and services, this is another answer that you're not really gonna like, Dana, I'm so sorry. But we tend to charge what we're willing to pay. So if your mindset is cheap, then you're going to charge cheaply on the low end, and you're not going to expect people to pay much more than you're willing to. And so if that's the case, if you don't believe in your own products being worth more, then nobody else will either. And that could be the problem that you're having with your pricing, because you want to make money. You believe that your products should be worth a lot of money, but it's not something you would even pay yourself. And so you would have a very difficult time communicating its value to someone else because you're not willing to pay that yourself. It's not believable. It doesn't come across authentic. So you have to first work on your mindset around money. Are you charging what you are willing to pay yourself? And if you're not willing to pay the amounts that you are charging, what's holding you back from being able to invest at that level? Okay. Then secondly, because you are the business owner, you get to make all the decisions. And so pricing is something that you can make the decision about. You can make it whatever you want it to be. But again, the catch there is that you have to believe in the pricing that you put out. Okay. So value is imaginary. I say this all the time. It's created, it's imaginary, it's made up. It does not exist until you make it exist. Things have value once you attach that value to them because of your beliefs. Okay? Value is nothing more than what you believe something is worth. It does not exist in and of itself. This is why you can go to Banana Republic, The Gap, and Old Navy and pay 3 totally different prices for what's essentially the same clothes. It's the same company, same clothes, okay? They have Banana Republic branding for the high-end client, high-end customer. They have Gap for the middle range hipsters, right? And then they have the inexpensive, low-cost pricing at Old Navy. 3 different brands, same company, 3 different price points, 3 different marketing strategies based on who the target market is for that particular strategy. But they basically covered all their bases. And the only difference between those clothes is the price and how they marketed them. Okay? So price is, again, whatever you decide it to be. It just needs to cover your cost and what you want to make. So I know that's a crazy question to ask a business owner. Most of us are not ready for that, but it truly is. What do you want to make? What do you want to earn? Give yourself permission to move outside of what other people's expectations are and the boundaries that you set up on yourself and charge more. Okay? You can charge whatever you like. So you don't have to just be over $5 over whatever you paid. If you want your product to be 500% markup, do it. Best Buy does. Jewel does. A lot of the stuff that you purchase is literally 1,000% marked up, 700% marked up. They're paying peanuts in terms of their cost, their expenses, but they are charging you an arm and a leg and a back shoulder. Okay, so you have to get very comfortable with charging your prices. Your prices are your prices. Just make sure that it's covering your expenses, it's covering your cost of living, and it's covering what you want to do. Because the only way that you're going to get rich, the only way that you're going to get wealthy, the only way that you're going to really truly run a successful business that is sustaining the lifestyle that you want is if it's making money. It has to make a profit. And so what is it going to take for you to earn the money that you would like? Okay, so I hope this was helpful. This is actually the end of our Q&A.